What's up guys, Specs here today with my team builder for my week 3 battle of ODL. I'm going up against the Doctor and his team, the Lucarios. He's got a team consisting of Magearna, Garchomp, Tangrowth, Darmanitan, Mienshao, Comfey, Floatzel, Mega Manectric, Suicune, Sneasel, Gliscor, and Cofagrigus. And now, of course, the first thing that's going to pop out is Magearna, which I should mention is his Z user. Since he chose his S tier as his Z user, it's his only Z user. And that thing is always a threat, and it can always be a problem to deal with if you're underprepared. Garchomp can also be very annoying. It would be definitely worse if it was a Z user, but it not being so, we had a little bit of an easier time preparing for it. Tangrowth can be a little annoying to break if we don't prepare for it right. And if we didn't bring Slowbro, Darmanitan would kind of take chunks out of our team, so that kind of mandated we bring Slowbro. Manectric can be a little bit annoying if you're not prepared for it well enough. And of course, Suicune's always a pain. So let's dive into my sets. Now I'm starting out here with a choice banded Genesect. And of course I have to run Hasty because I want to run extreme speed, and that's just kind of the requirements for it. Banded is very good in this game. A, because I like having that strong priority with the team he has. Especially with, things like Main, Chomp, Darm. It can always make things easier. Additionally, the combination of Iron Head and U-Turn just kind of takes chunks out of his team and really shuts down Comfey. It's always nice to have a powerful Steel type when you're facing Comfey just to make sure that little shit can't do anything. Of course, I'm not going to make the hard switch plays because I'm absolutely, if I see Comfey, I'm assuming him Power Fire, no ifs, ands, or buts about it. It could be HP Ground, I just think it would be HP Fire for sure. And Mienshao is also another reason that Extreme Speed is really nice. Of course, I've got the Ice Beam because he's got Gliscor, Chomp too to some extent, but really Gliscor. And I've got the speed for Gliscor and Darmanitan, but mostly for Gliscor because I assumed Darmanitan would be Scarf if it came. It could also be a band set, maybe say U-Turn can do a little bit more to Slowbro. Speaking of Slowbro, our next Pokemon here is Slowbro, and we are running a Calm Mind 2 attacking variant with Psyshock and Ice Beam. Now the reason I have Ice Beam is because I need to be able to hit Garchomp hard if its Sword Stance is up, and Ice Beam is just a move to do that. I'm running a Calm Mind variant because it can deal with Suicune. Initially I had speed on this for Tangrowth, but my team has such a terrible matchup for Tangrowth, I didn't think it was worth it in the end. This Pokemon can help me with quite a few Mons on his team, and if I get the opportunity to start Calm Minding up, I can win. My Slowbro is especially defensive because at +1, Manectric Thunderbolt is doing, I believe, 42 to 50. So this Pokemon, if Manectric switches in while I Calm Mind, I'm going to win that 1v1. Unless he gets a crit and I'm not Mega or something like that, Funky Paralysis, something like that. But generally, I start Calm Minding up with this thing and it's looking over for him. Unless he gets a Toxic off on it. The next Pokemon I'm going to look at is my Mew. And we're running the Baton Pass here, and our goal is to Nasty Plot and pass that into Nihilego. And this is probably going to be our initial switch in the Suicune. Just because Suicune will not beat this 1v1, we can get up our Nasty Plots, we can pass him if we need to into Virizion for example, and then Virizion becomes hard for him to deal with. And we have Psyshock on this, of course, just to make sure we beat Suicune. I went with this type of Mew to not only be able to pass, but also to make Suicune easier to deal with. In this league, I can pass one stat and not speed, so I decided that plot was very good in this game, passing it. And I went with a physically defensive Mew just because it's really hard for him to stop a physically defensive Mew from passing. He really can't threaten it out that easily. So definitely look for this thing to make an impact in the game. I haven't played the game yet, but I think it definitely has the potential to do something in it. And when we're talking about nasty passing, we should talk about Nihilego, which is my main plan to nasty pass into. And I'm EV'd to outspeed max speed Garchomp and also EV'd to get speed boost. And of course I want speed boost because I'm trying to pass nasty plot to it. And really, if I pass to this thing and he doesn't have Hayes Rodriguez, it's looking over. I'm sorry about that. I forgot to turn off my alarm. But yeah, as I was saying, if I nasty pass to this and he doesn't have Hayes Rodriguez, it's looking very difficult for him to beat this. He would need to have like an Iron Head Magearna really to have a shot at beating this thing, because nothing both takes its hits after plot and breaks it. So that's going to be the Nihilego set. Next up is my Muck, and this is my designated answer to Magearna. I'm specially defensive, but I have that defensive bulk there just to make sure I can take Earthquakes from Tangrowth well enough. This Pokemon's generally going to be my switch into that Magearna all game. Magearna really has a hard time breaking this. It would have to be some sort of Calm Mind variant to be able to do so. I've got the Recycle, of course, just to make sure I have that recovery. I can come in on his Flare Cannon, take it, heal back up. And Fire Punch to make sure I can hit the Nihilego. I've got the Gunk Shot to hit the Tangrowth primarily. It also helps with Comfey. And Knockoff is just really good for hitting anything when I know he's going to switch out. And of course the Gluttony and the Figgy. And our last Pokemon here is going to be the Virizion. And I'm going to run the Choice Specs Virizion because he does not have much to come in on this reliably. His Pokemon that take the Grass Knot and the Giga Drain don't take the Focus Blast. And this Pokemon, it comes in on a Suicune while Suicune Calm Minds, and then it beats it into it KOs it with Grass Knot into Grass Knot. And Giga Drain just gives this thing a lot of longevity. He's Tangrowth and Magearna, which are the only things that can really take my grass moves comfortably, and they both really have a hard time taking the Focus Blast. I've got the Hidden Power Ice for the Garchomp and the Sneasel, of course, and I've got Speed for Mienshao. I went with Grass Knot over Energy Ball just because it hits Suicune better. It hits Suicune in a way where I'm going to... Let me try to explain this. He is at +1, I hit him with Grass Knot, and then he Calm Minds again to get to +2, and I have a very good chance to be able to 2-hit KO him in that scenario with Grass Knot, and with Energy Ball he'll probably take them. So I just want to make sure he can't set up with that, and that's why I've got the Grass Knot there. And that's going to be it for my team. I'm going to do a recap here quickly. I've got the Choice Banded Genesect with Ice Beam. I've got the Specially Defensive Calm Mind Slowbro. I've got the Nasty Pass Mew. I've got the Nasty Pass Recipient Nihilego. Oh, did I mention why I have Black Sludge? It's just nice to have that longevity for things like Magearna and all those things. It's nice to be able to get my health back up when I have the nasty pass with this thing. I did consider running a stone plate, but I thought the longevity was more important. And then I've got the specially defensive recycle muck and the choice Specs Virizion. If you see this, then the battle will be up very soon. I want to thank you guys for watching. Have yourselves a good night.